Hello, and thank you for watching my video tutorial on my final project for the Java certification program. This application is a CRUD application centered around fantasy football, titled Ryan's Big Board of Players. As you can see, the main page is a list of NFL players eligible for fantasy football. Right now, we just have the main players from the Green Bay Packers, but when it's complete, the list will have over 300 players in it. So how do we add a new player? We click the button on the top left, which will take us to the Add New Player page. Right now, I'm going to try to manifest reality and pretend that wide receiver Treylon Burks from the University of Arkansas will be drafted by the Packers next month in the NFL Draft. So we'll add him here. We will put him on the Packers. And let's say we say he's going to score 1,000 points. Even though it doesn't make sense right now, I want to show you what happens when I click. So we're going to add him. But you can see a couple of authentications have popped up. We have to make sure that a position is selected. That way it's always captured. And the point total has to be between 0 and 600. The 600 is rather arbitrary. I came up with that because the highest point total scored in a fantasy football season ever was 450. And so that seemed like a good cap to put on there. But realistically, that's not a hard set date. So we're going to put 0 on there. Since he's a rookie, he will have scored 0 points. And we're going to add him to the database. Click the button and you can see he is added in the very bottom. Now I'm recording this on March 23rd, and recently Davante Adams was traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. So how do we update that? We look on the Davante Adams tab and scroll all the way over to Edit. All of these edits will take you to an edit page. We click it there, and you'll notice the URL is to edit/4. This 4 is the unique ID of each player that is set up in the database on the back end. And so that is something that's captured that's not displayed for the front end user to see. So we'll come here and we will change him to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm sorry. Gosh, wouldn't that be awful for him? We'll change him to the Las Vegas Raiders and we'll update it. And you'll see where Davante Adams is. He is now part of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, since we're manifesting a really good reality, let's say that Treylon Burks wins the lottery, and to protect his health, he decides to retire early and never actually plays. So we want to delete him from this database. Right next to the Edit tab is the Delete tab, and once I hit it, it will auto-update and show us the database with him gone. It'll happen really quickly. And there he went. So that is a brief overview and quick demo of how my project works. Now I want to talk about some stretch goals. As I mentioned earlier, about 300 extra people will be added to this, so I need to incorporate pagination to the project in order to be able to store everybody in a readable fashion. There are multiple positions that people can play, and so I want to be able to sort, and I can have a list of just quarterbacks, just running backs, just wide receivers, etc., etc. Right now, there's no security authentication for the application, and in the future, that's definitely going to help, so I can make sure nobody else can edit my database. I'd like to add an internal ranking system, because right now, they're only displayed based on the order in which I input them, which doesn't make sense for football strategy. So I want to figure out a way to make a ranking system, incorporate that as a key, and figure out where to go from there. And then an ultimate stretch goal is for each player, say we go back here, will be a hyperlink that you could click on it, and it will be much like the Edit tab. It'll be over here, and say down here we have notes. So say, for instance, he's injured in week 4, or he puts this or that for the COVID vaccination stuff. That would have been very helpful to know who is out, who is in, and how long that is. So that's a brief overview of my project. It was used with the tech stack of Java with Eclipse, a MySQL database, and Spring Boot and Maven were helped to incorporate everything together to make it a fully functioning app. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Have a fantastic day.